go into learning some of the principles of persuasion, it is very important for you to know some of the styles of persuasion. There are 3 major styles of persuasion. What we mean is that if you want to be persuasive, you need to apply any of these 3 styles. It was a famous Greek philosopher by name Aristotle that came up with these 3 styles of persuasion over 2,000 years ago. And what are these 3 styles? The first one is ethos. The second one is pathos. And then the third one is logos. And I will explain. Just follow me. It's going to be an interesting one. The first one, ethos, talks about your character. Your character. You can't be persuasive if you lack good character. That's something that is worth thinking about. You need to have a good track record. Most people are persuasive because they have people, if you look at all through history, people that have been persuasive in movies, all through everything you watch and all of that, they have been persuasive because they had some form of character that people admired. They had some goodwill, they had some good moral, and people respected them. So that is why when you look at adverts, for example, take for example, if somebody like Barack Obama comes here and tells us, oh, the world is round. And before now, everybody has believed that the world is spherical and all of that. But because of his character, because of his integrity, because we know his trajectory and we know his social standing, there's a likelihood that we'll believe him. Most people will believe him quickly because there's a character and he has a trajectory, he has a good track record. First thing in developing or in applying persuasive skills is you have to have character. People have to know what you have done over time. People have to be able to say that, this person, I can trust what this person is saying. Ethos is about building trust with integrity. I mean, that word is a Greek word that means character. And what you do when you apply ethos is you attempt to persuade the speaker, you attempt to persuade your audience based on your social standing. And that's why many people use IG influencers, social media influencers, to sell their products, to sell their work. Because what they are doing is they are leveraging on the character, the trajectory, the social standing of that person. So that's something major as a style of persuasion. This is not about being famous. We're not saying, oh, you have to be famous before you can have ethos. You don't have to be famous. What you have to do is you need to make whoever you are trying to persuade, you need to make them believe that you have a good will, you have a good moral, you have a good character. That's what ethos is about. So it's not about people have to know me and all that. The person you're trying to persuade just has to know that you have a good character and you have to have demonstrated that over time. That is what ethos is about. Character is a major fulcrum in being persuasive. Now let's move to the second style. The second style of persuasion is what is called pathos. And this is very important. What is pathos? Pathos is appealing to what? Emotions. Appealing to emotions. And that's why when you watch movies, you see that many movies either appeal to different things. So if you watch a comedy, for example, it appeals to your sense of happiness, joy, laughter, you laugh a lot and all of that. If you watch a tragic movie, for example, it makes you cry. In your attempt to trying to persuade somebody, a style you can adopt is what is called pathos. You have to appeal to somebody's emotion. So in trying to persuade somebody, what in your delivery, what in that product appeals to the emotions of people? And that's why when you look at some of these NGOs that promote helping people from different neighborhoods, helping people from the poor in poor communities and the underserved and all of those things, what they do is that in trying to persuade audience, trying to persuade people to contribute to the cause, what they do is to show a video. They can show a video of children that are suffering. That is what they are appealing to your emotion. So that you can have some of pity. And then as a result of that, you bring out your money and donate. That is what is called pathos. So in your presentation, in your delivery, in your trying to persuade whatever you're doing, persuading your child, you have to appeal to emotion. Why should we listen to you? What part of your presentation, what part of these things you're talking to us or telling us about appeals to our sense of emotion? And it could be any emotion. It could be a positive or negative emotion. It could be anger, it could be fear, it could be anything you're trying to appeal to. So you're the one that will sit down and craft it. What emotion am I, if you're writing, for example, you're a writer now, what emotion do I want my audience to exude by the time they are done watching this movie or by the time they are done reading this book? But this is one thing you must not do when you're trying to use pathos. Now, people over time have turned pathos into manipulation. This is a statement I want you to listen to carefully. Now, changing an audience's emotion based on false or misleading information is often seen as manipulation. So you don't appeal to people's emotion. For example, the example I cited earlier about an NGO trying to get some funds to help a community, and they put up pictures of some children suffering, they don't have enough food and all of that. If we find out that that information is false, what you have done there is manipulation. not persuasion. So as much as possible, whenever you're trying to do what? To apply pathos and appeal to people's emotion, make sure that the facts are right. That's pathos. That's number 2. Now let's look at the third style. There's a third style of persuasion, and this is very important. This style is known as logos. Logos. What is logos? Logos simply means logic. It means sense. It means facts. We need to see demonstrable evidence. We need to see the proof. What are the proofs? So, for example, you want to sell your product. What are the things you've done in the past? What are the things you've put together that makes this product worthwhile and better than another product? So there has to be facts. When we talk about logos, we're talking about generally acceptable standards of what is true and right. People have to be able to know that what you are selling to them, what you are telling them about, based on general standards, is acceptable. So, for example, you want to present yourself to a panel. You have a job offer and all of that, and you're before a panel. If we look at your CV, we need to be able to see the facts, the things you have done, some of your achievements, your degree, the leadership roles you've played and all that. Those are the things that will give facts and give your employers, people who are intending to your interviewers, they will see all those things. Those are the logos. You can't just go and appear before an interview panel and say that, my parents, my father is poor, my mother, just give me this job. No, we need to see facts. Logos is very important. And so, for example, now, some of the presentations you have as a company, you want to get an investor to invest in your company, you can show them testimonials. You can get people to speak about some of the things you've done in the past. You can show them statistics, things you've done. Those are the things that make you appeal to the logic of your audience. That's what logos is about. So logos essentially is about your appealing to the sense, appealing to the facts, appealing to the logic of your audience. First one again is character. You have to have good character. We can't go to the social media, we can't go online and Google about you, and we see online that, this person has stolen some money before, has been locked up in prison for no. Your character is already, so there's nothing about persuasion there. You can't persuade your audience if you lack good character. And then the second one is passion, which is pathos. We have to see emotion being demonstrated. As a public speaker, you have to demonstrate some emotion. And then the third one, which is logos. Logos is about logic. It has to make sense. What are you selling to us? Does this make sense? Or people can just want to sell you anything. They just want to make money. But we need to see, based on facts, based on statistics, based on trends, based on details. We need to see that you have done your research. We need to see how R&D comes into play here. That is what it means to infuse logic, infuse logos into your trying to be persuasive. And that's why these 3 different styles of persuasion, they are the 3 major styles upon which the 7 principles I'm going to talk about after now are based. We can't talk about the 7 principles without these 3 styles. And I'm going to still refer to some of these 3 principles as we go on.